historically, winning was wealth and health, or by the greater population, it was perceived as wealth and health. If someone had wealth and health, they were perceived by everyone as as winning, successful, admirable, something to achieve, something everyone wanted for their life. Not everyone, but health certainly. Comfort maybe, if not wealth for others. But it was perceived as winning regardless, in a general sense. And in the last decades, the idea of a billionaire has come to life, which is 1,000 million. And so wealth has meant more than it used to mean, possibly. And it seems like we can name more people that are wealthy, and there's more evidence of wealth, big buildings and fancy cars and expensive shoes, and it's more than just the king that has them now. We also noticed that some of the people that are winning, they have health and wealth. When they get there, they take their own lives, which is hard for people to really process. How can they, with that sort of success and wealth and health, could they take their own life? And many write it off to mental health. Oh, they had money, but they weren't mentally healthy. Maybe they had physical health and energy, but they were mentally incapacitated in some way. And that may be true, depending on how you define mental health. But I suspect it's something else, and that's it may be mental health, but it's a realization they've come to, that they thought that their life could be better if they achieved certain things. And when they arrived there and their moment by moment living remained painful, they lost hope that over time they lose hope that their wealth can make their moment by moment life feel better. And that's really what I wanted to talk about today. This assumption that things are going to get better once we've hit all of our goals, and then we can start enjoying our moment-to-moment life right now. Right now. Right now. What does it feel like inside? And I propose that doesn't change with your health or your wealth. I propose that the human mind I propose that the lack of awareness of the human mind as a waveform. The human mind is a waveform, observable. Isn't that bird beautiful? that's observable, and that people, instead of observing it, they attach themselves to what the human mind's imagining. And the human mind imagines all sorts of scenarios, and it runs them through your mind as test cases of what people are thinking and how you should act and what's wrong with this moment and why it would be better, and if you could get so and so to try this other thing, and if you only could lose weight, and if you could meet the right person, and if your mind is proposing concepts, and then it's proposing images that arise out of those concepts, and it's dragging your awareness through all of that emotional visualization, and it's attaching pain to your being. The mind is able to do this because you don't know your mind's like a waveform. You think you are your mind. And so if your mind believes that someone, I'll give some examples, someone at work doesn't like you and they're out to get you, and you're feeling that social rejection, or you're feeling that your life isn't how your mind wants it to be, if that's being attached to you and you're going through life on a roller coaster of your mind's interpretations of reality, and you're not seeing that as a waveform and waking up and being in the awareness of living each moment of your life, that roller coaster ride that your mind will take you on, if you believe that's who you are, is so painful that your moment to moment existence is painful. And because your mind's imagining that things are wrong, because it wants to fix everything, it wants your life to be perfect, it wants you to be in the right car and to be with a beautiful mate and to be able to travel or be able to live whatever your dreams are. And your mind's, it's dreaming that, and it's comparing where you are to that dream, and it's feeling the distance, and it's attaching the pain of the distance to your body, and that's the emotional roller coaster you're being taken on. And that's the way people are born. They live most of their life and they die. But I propose that your mind is a wave, and that you actually have something larger in you. It's already there, and it is observing life. And you're paying so deep attention to your mind, to as it drags you through these visualizations of what she thought and he shot, and they said, and we could, and why am I this way? Couldn't I do it that way? Why did they get that? I don't. And instead of hearing it like a waveform, like a sad or hurt child, you are the waveform. And so you don't, when you're walking through a path in a jungle like where I am now, you don't hear that there's wind in the trees. as your mind drags you around. You don't hear the birds. You don't see the colors, or you don't feel the wind touching the hair on your arms, or you don't hear the wind caress the leaves in the treetops above. And your mind will filter what I just said there, and it will say, how do you expect to be successful if you're paying attention to wind, birds, and leaves, and the color green, instead of these 6 problems you need to solve to get through today? And that's how it grabs you and pulls you back. What an idiot. He's walking in the park, just talking nonsense when I have real problems. Your mind pulls you back. And you have a tight clutch because you think you need 100% concentration, and because you don't trust your natural ability to flow through life. And when actually, if you were able to hear the leaves, that would be something you're adding. You wouldn't lose the ability to hear your mind. You'll never lose the ability to hear your mind when you hear the leaves, and when you hear the people in the background, and you hear the dog bark while you're walking and listening to your mind, while you feel the heartbeat inside yourself when you're walking, while you feel the energy all around you as you're walking, and you feel the joy of everything around you that is the essence of all there is, God if you are religious. And so joy exists in consciousness, in an opening up of listening, in an opening of awareness, and a without losing anything. The mind still tells its story, but now you hear its story in context. You're in a beautiful world. There's beauty all around you. And every one of your problems, even if it's life-threatening, or your family's ending, or you're out of money, or you're living on the street, if everything on your list is wrong, all of that is information that floats by, that your mind's telling you, this is wrong, that's wrong, gotta fix this. And it's the sound of a mind talking, and it's one of the other things. It's one of the other things you're perceiving. You're still perceiving the trees and the birds. And when you wake up in that awareness, you begin to live a flow consciousness. Problems begin to solve themselves, not because you don't care about them or because there's some magic, but because your awareness is opened up, your perception is opened up, more information and more awareness of the people around you. You no longer come from a place of scarcity. You come from a place of abundance. You literally are in the space of abundance. You're in a one-to-one relationship with the all, with the Creator. And so the problems that one little human being has in the world, those flow into life, and life takes care of you. And even if you're dying and this is your last day, it's enough to live it with awareness of the all. It's enough to let go and be with the Creator in the all sense, and to let those problems flow into solutions as your final day is here. And once you have access to the joy of not being so focused on every little problem that needs to be solved or changed in your life or fixed, or people you have to this and that and boop, that's when every moment in your life can be joyful and abundant, and because you are being awareness itself, you are in a relationship with the all. And in a real sense, your mind is not as significant as you think it to be. It's just another beautiful sound flowing through the trees, and you don't need to hang on every thought it has. You can just relax, drop your shoulders, and flow into life. Whether it's you have 80 years or 100 years or a day or 2 weeks left to live, you can live joyfully. You can be with all of creation as you live on a moment by moment basis, and you can share consciousness with the all. There's no need to pollute it with a narrow focus of one person's problems. No matter how big they are to that one person, they're not as big as the power and abundance of the all. And this is a shift. It's a grace to be able to be with the awareness like this. It's nothing I deserve. It's nothing I've earned. There's nothing I know. There's nothing I know to teach you that you already don't know. You've heard this before in different forms. It's just letting go and being with everything all at once, instead of just whatever miniature problems that are grandiose to you normally. So anyway, welcome to my world. This is Dan of Vagabond Buddha. It's time to attack the day. I have a bunch of stuff on my plate. I hope you have a wonderful day too. Take care.